Ujambo, Hotep, brother, Ashra, Kwesi.
Si Jumbo, Hotep, brother. How you feel?
Fine.
Okay.
I know you have just delivered a very illuminating lecture
Yep, with a
about,
serious backing.
yes, indeed, about African history and its relationship to how Christianity came about, etc. Yesterday in Brixton, South London, you did a different aspect. And in both cases, the lectures were most inspirational. And it is off, your lecture tour has started off auspiciously because it's your first lecture tour in this country, Britain, even though you have been here in 1987.
Right.
Yes, indeed. You will be going to Birmingham and Leeds because this is all a part of Africa Liberation Day. How do you see your mission for the future for African people in terms of freeing us from the bonds of mental slavery through the religious terrorism?
Well, as an individual, I only see myself as a farmer. You know, like a farmer can only plow the land where he is. And only he can plant the seeds where he is, and only he can hope for the crops where he is. I don't see myself as the one who's going to be the liberation of African people. It's going to take a collective effort of countless thousands of Africans making an effort for the liberation of African people. But above all, coming together in a Umoja and coming together in Kujachagalia and self-determination and pulling together all those principles of Nguza Saba in order for us to be free. So I'm one, as I've been taught by the great elders and ancestors' teachings as well, is that our ancestors left for us for countless thousands of years. We don't have to reinvent nothing at all. We have the books in stone, we have the information, so we don't have to get into our own personal ego trip and feel that we have our own personal, we can be the ones who can be the liberator. So that's why I can only see myself as a little farmer. You know, so like today there was
an important farmer?
Well, if it could work that way, today was a little plow of land, and just, you know, if we can call it that. So right here in London, there was a little patch of land right here, and plowed the land and planted some seeds, okay? Now it's up to those seeds to grow, and hopefully the community will nourish itself and for it to be manifested. And that's how you have to see it. I think if each one would take 5% and put it into the liberation of African people, considering that we all put 100% in working 9 to 5 or whatever time they have over here in London, we put in 100%. So I think if we just took 5% and put it back to our people and bring the best that we have to our people, we can all help in the liberation of African people. Then we'll have a movement. Then you know, we'll have the movement will start to move in a direction that it should go. And so, you know, my purpose and objective in doing a lecture like this, that I would hope to inspire and motivate a brother or sister to open up their doorway. Because what I know now, I did not always know. Someone had to come, as I spoke of his name, Dr. Joseph Nyakanen, and many, many others who have traveled, you know, past my path that has helped me. Okay, so that I have to give back is they've helped open the door. We all have something. It's just unfortunate that it's locked up. And so that's the purpose and objectives for lectures like this.
And how do we get in touch with you in terms of getting more information from you by way of your DVDs, videos, etc.?
Right. Well, you know, because of technology now, everything's accessible now. You have the website, and our website is www.kemetnu, that's Kemetnu, and on it you'll see our annual trips, because we must spiritually empower ourselves and go back to the original Holy Land. And we take groups back 27 years, 14 years with Dr. Joseph Nyakanen, and continuing to work and revealing the information on the temples and tombs that our ancestors wrote for us. And then, of course, the DVDs, which help us. This helps support us because we're not in the system, and we're trying to stay independent the best we possibly can so we can continue to do this. I don't have someone saying, Brother Kwesi, here's $1 million grant, go study those temples and don't worry about nothing for the next 5 years. Unfortunately, we don't have those type of resources.
And that's why we can't afford to have pirates pirating your stuff.
Yeah, unfortunately, because there are those who are not walking in the spirit of Ma'at, I think when we pull together African knowledge, it just can't be the fashion. It just can't be the way we think and say it's conscious. It's got to be 360 degrees of spiritual consciousness. We cannot walk in the spirit of isfet or evil and do these kind of things to each other, because we're sabotaging different aspects of liberation for people who need the support, the economic support. Because we're not going to get that support from the people, and people have no idea what it takes to do field research, have no idea what it takes to buy equipment.
It is expensive.
And not even say the research, the meditative time to sit down in my library for day in and day out and research and doing critical analysis and doing these types of things. So, you know, unfortunately, we have those who are still walking, you know, in the light of just as somebody who may have been raised as a, you know, out there on the street and dealing drugs and everything else and stealing and hitting people in the head and robbing them. It's the same thing, you know. It's just one just growing up in African consciousness, or saying that they're in African consciousness, but not in African consciousness, but using African everything to justify it.
Well, I know that you're very tired physically.
Well, this seat sure feels good, because I have this my first time sitting down after the lecture. And then, you know, I'm not used to lecturing every day. You know, we do have the break period, so I kind of feel it now, you know, and then, you know, the stress of the jet lag and all that, your time's upside down and everything. But it's a great honor anyway to be here. It's a great spirit. You just got to find that energy and pull it up and bring it forth. So it's great to be here in London, and the reception has been wonderful with the brothers and sisters. And even though I felt a little tired, the brothers and sisters still gave me that spirit, that call and response that sometimes
that resolve
that can say, that energizes you and move you forward. So hopefully I'll get enough rest to get through the next lecture, and then the next lecture, and the next lecture.
You will, and remember, this is just a beginning, because we here love the enlightenment that you have given, and be assured that you will be making many more visits to Britain to continue the work of educating our people.
Well, it's great to be here at the African Family, and I want to thank everybody, and all in the spirit, and you know, it's great to be here, and it's a great audience. I thought New York and Los Angeles and Chicago were great audiences, but I think London got them topped.
One creator, one aim, one destiny. Amen.
Amen.